Hi everyone, welcome back to another yoga video. Today I'm going to be guiding you through Surya Namaskar B, Sun Salutation B. If you're looking to go through Surya Namaskar A, I do have a video on my YouTube. It's in one of my yoga beginner videos, so you can always go and have a little look at that, and then you can have a look at this one. But if you are starting with this one, that's absolutely fine. We are going to start at the top of our mats in Tadasana, our mountain pose. Your feet are going to be hips distance apart or slightly wider. Lift the toes up, spread them apart, and drop them from the pinky toe to your big toe. Grounding down through the feet, finding length in the spine. Hands, arms by your side. Hands facing forwards, like you're shining a bright light in front of you from your palms. Chin slightly tucked. Shoulders up and down the back. And when you're ready, softening the gaze or closing the eyes. And just finding a few moments to ground down before we begin our practice. Relax the jaw, the eyes, the forehead. Relax the shoulders. And become aware of the breath. Inhaling in and out through the nose if that's available to you. And when you inhale, feeling the belly expand, maybe the ribs and the chest slightly lift. And then feeling it all soften with the exhale. Taking a few more breaths here. Gently blinking the eyes open if you've closed them. So Tadasana is our first pose. With Surya Namaskar, usually what you do is you go through each asana with the breath. So you'll start with an inhale, you will go into another pose with the exhale, another pose with the inhale, and so on. As I guide you through it, the first few times we're going to stay in the pose for a few breaths, and then as we get to the end, we will have a chance to flow with the breath, so it quickens the pace a little bit, and we can move to each pose with the breath, but it is completely up to you on whether you decide to do that or not. So we're in our Tadasana, we're in our mountain pose. We've ground down a little bit, we've connected to the breath. Keeping the feet hips distance apart, or you can bring your big toes to touch. Maybe the heels have a little gap between them. We inhale the arms up, and whilst the arms come up, we squat down into our chair pose. And finding a happy medium here, not tilting the tailbone, not tucking the tailbone too much, just finding that middle place. Breathing as we hold our chair pose. And then with the exhale, we bring the arms down, we straighten the legs, we hinge from the hips. And if you've brought the feet together, you might want to shuffle them apart, dropping the head into our forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need. You might feel a bit tight in this first forward fold. Maybe nod the head yes, shake the head no. And then we inhale into our halfway lift. The hands can be on the mat, they can be on your shins or the thighs, your Ardha Uttanasana, and bringing the weight into the toes, finding length in the spine, still keeping the chin slightly tucked. We don't want to lift the chin, we're keeping it near enough to the chest so we have a straight spine. Breathing as we hold our Ardha Uttanasana. Bending the knees, dropping the hands, stepping back into a plank. We're going to start our first plank as supported. And usually with a Surya Namaskar, we go from our halfway lift, our Ardha Uttanasana, into a Chaturanga. So that's a low plank. But we're just starting. We may be a bit tight if this is the first movement we're doing for today. So we're just going to take it step by step and gradually we will get there. So you're in your supported plank, you're pushing through the hands on the knees, squeezing the glutes. And then we'll slowly lower ourselves to the mat. Maybe bringing the hands a little bit further back so they're near your ribs. Inhaling the shoulders up and down the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, squeezing the elbows together. We're coming into a baby cobra. Keeping the legs active, squeezing the quads and the glutes. And then push yourselves up, finding all fours for a moment. Bringing the bum back, tucking the toes, slight child's pose before we push ourselves up into our downward dog. The first downward dog of our practice. Maybe pedaling out through the feet, maybe twisting the hips. Breathing here. Pushing through the hands. Finding some stillness. Bringing the shoulders towards the ears. Bending the knees as much as you need. The heels don't have to be on the mat. We're wanting to find length in the spine. And then with the next inhale, lengthening through the right leg into a one-leg downward dog. Opening up through the knee, through the hip. Bringing the knee forward into the chest, shoulders over the wrists. And then finding your foot to come between the hands. If you need to give it a bit of a push, that's fine. And then moving the back foot in a little bit. And we're also going to angle it out at a 45-degree angle. Bending through the front leg. And as we inhale up, our arms come up as well. As we find our warrior one. Breathing here. Bending through the front knee. squeezing through the left glute and trying to push down through the outside of the left foot, keeping it active. Bringing the hands down to the mat, and we will find our supported plank again. Lowering to the belly, shoulders up and back, finding our baby cobra. Pushing back, finding our downward dog. And again, maybe pedaling here. We may still be a bit tight. And then inhaling the left leg up, opening through the hip, bending the knee. Bringing the knee forwards into the chest, left leg coming between the hands. And then moving the back foot in and angle it out. Inhaling up into our warrior one. Front leg is bent. Squeezing through the right glute and pushing the outside of the right foot into the mat. Keeping it active. Bringing the hands down to the mat, finding our supported plank, lowering onto the belly, finding your baby cobra, pushing back into your downward dog, and then tiptoeing to the front of the mat, finding our halfway lift. Chin is tucked, finding length in the spine, weight into the toes. Exhale into your forward fold, dropping the head, bending the knees. Keeping the knees bent, inhaling the chest up, arms up into our chair pose. Strong here, maybe feeling the quads firing up. And then exhaling, extend up, stand up, arms by your side, into your Tadasana. And you're welcome to close the eyes in your Tadasana. I encourage you to try and slow the breath down here. Try and slow down the heart rate. So we'll go through that a few more times, and if there's other poses that are available to you, I will let you know. We will build on. That is the basics of our Surya Namaskar, and we will end up with a flow which is pose to pose to pose to pose. And you can choose, there's a lot of variations of the poses that you can choose. Do what is most comfortable for your body. And when we get to the point of going to the different poses with the breath, If that doesn't feel comfortable for you today, then please just carry on as we're doing it, where you hold the pose for a little bit, and then you can always build that where you move with the breath. Opening the eyes. We will inhale into our chair pose, squatting down. Next, exhale brings us into our forward fold. Bending through the knees as much as you need. Next, inhale brings us into our halfway lift. Finding length in the spine, weight towards the toes. Our next exhale brings us into a plank or supported plank. So you can drop the knees, you can keep them lifted. Taking an inhale before exhaling, slowly lowering the body to the mat. Point the toes. Bring the hands back a little bit. And you can roll the shoulders up and back into your baby cobra. Or if you'd like, you can come into a middle cobra, or you can find your high cobra. Exhale, coming back, pushing up into your downward dog. Making sure there's length in the spine. Bending the knees, keeping the heels lifted if you need. Inhale the right leg up and back. Bending through the knee. Bringing the knee forward. Right foot comes between the hands. Bringing the left foot in and angling it out, bringing it up the mat, Inhaling up into your warrior one. Breathing here, finding some stability. Bringing the hands down, finding your version of plank, and lowering the belly with the exhale. Inhaling into your option, baby cobra, middle cobra, or high cobra. Next exhale brings you back and up into your downward dog. Next inhale lifts the left leg up and back, bending through the knee, bringing the knee into the chest and bringing the left foot in between the hands. The right foot comes up and is angled out. Inhale into your warrior one. Breathing here. Hands come down to the mat, finding your plank option, lowering down. Inhaling into your cobra option. Exhaling into your downward dog. Walking the feet forwards or stepping to the top of the mat, finding your halfway lift. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale into your chair pose. And exhale into your Tadasana. Maybe closing the eyes here again. Slowing down the breath. Trying to slow down the heart rate. Relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders. So we'll flow through that again, but again, building on, giving you some more options that are available. Opening the eyes. Inhaling into your chair pose. Exhaling into your forward fold. Inhaling into your halfway lift. Bending the knees, hands come to the mat, stepping back into your plank, supported or full. And with the exhale, you're going to either lower the belly to the mat, or you're going to lower and hover above the mat into your chaturanga. You either lower to the belly and come into your version of cobra, or you flip into your upward facing dog, which is your cobra, but your knees and your thighs are off of the mat. You can also find this way, say if you come up into your cobra, you can push down through the top of the feet and you can come into your upward facing dog here. Exhale into your downward dog. Inhale the right leg up and back, bending through the knee, bringing the right foot in between the hands, finding your warrior one with the inhale. Hands come to the mat, finding your plank, your version, lowering down your version, and coming into the cobra of your choice or upward facing dog. Exhaling into your downward dog. Inhale, left leg up and back, bending through the knee. Bringing the left foot in between the hands. With the inhale, find your warrior one. Hands come down, plank, lowering, chaturanga or to the belly. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. walking or stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale into your forward fold, your Uttanasana. Inhale into your chair. And exhale up into your Tadasana. Closing down the eyes. Taking a moment to catch the breath. We're going to flow through that again, trying to go a little bit quicker, trying to move more fluidly with the breath. If you would like to continue how we've been doing it, where you hold the pose for a little bit longer, then please do so. But if you would like to try and go a little bit quicker, more fluid movement, then you can of course join me. Blink the eyes open if you've closed them. Inhale into your chair. Exhale into your forward fold. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, plank, lowering down or chaturanga. Inhaling into cobra of your choice or upward facing dog. Exhaling into your downward dog. Inhaling the right leg up, bringing the right foot in between the hands. Inhaling into your warrior one. Bringing the hands down, lowering to the belly or chaturanga. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Left foot between the hands. Inhaling into warrior one. Bringing the hands down with the exhale, lowering. Inhale up into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling into downward dog. Inhaling, walking or stepping, top of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into your chair. Exhale, Tadasana. I always find that Surya Namaskar B brings a bit of a sweat on. It doesn't seem like a long flow, but the poses and the speed of the movement, it does get the heart rate up. You can close the eyes in your Tadasana. Try and lower the heart rate again, lower the breath. We're going to flow through that one more time, increasing the speed a little bit more. Again, moving with the breath. I held the pose for about one breath on that last one. So we will now move, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. We'll go into each pose as we breathe. But as always, if you would like to flow the way we've been doing it previously, then please do so. It's your body, it's your practice. Blinking the eyes open. Inhale into your chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lowering down or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, one leg downward dog, bringing the foot forwards. Inhaling into your warrior one. Hands come down with the exhale, lowering down chaturanga. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up, bringing the left foot forwards. Inhaling warrior one. Exhaling, finding your chaturanga or lowering. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling downward dog. Inhale, step or walk to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, Tadasana. Just catching the breath whilst we're here. Before we flow like that, one more time. And when you're ready, inhaling into your chair, exhaling, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, lower or chaturanga, inhale, cobra or upward dog, exhale, downward dog, inhale, the foot comes forwards into your warrior one. Exhale, lower or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up and into your warrior one. Exhale, lower or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, walk or step to the front of the mat, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. And then exhale, Tadasana, but bring your palms in the center of your chest. Feeling your heart against your thumbs. trying to lower the breath, trying to soften the breath, trying to lower the heart rate. Taking a nice big inhale through the nose into the belly, and exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. 2 more like that. Inhale and 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. Closing down the eyes if they're not closed already. Blink the eyes open. Thank you for joining me for Surya Namaskar B. I really hope you enjoyed it. I am a sweaty mess. It's really warm here today, and I really hope you enjoyed it as well. I hope you were able to follow along. I hope you were able to move in a way that feels good for your body. If you would like to learn Surya Namaskar A, I do also have it on my YouTube, and I hope to see you again on the mat soon.